Okay.
Tell us, before the patches, right after, which patches you used. Yeah.
Okay. Again, my name is Denise Brown, and I'm just so happy to be here and share my story. Back in November of 2022, I was diagnosed with endometrial cancer. And I tell you, I was really scared because cancer doesn't really run in my family that much. And when you hear the word cancer, the first word you think about is death, and I didn't want to die. I wanted to live. And I was in excruciating pain from my waist down to my feet. It felt like I was on fire. And so I just prayed. I just started praying and praying. And a friend of mine called me to tell me he had prostate cancer and that he was using these patches. He said that his his med what do you call it? Anyway, his numbers went from 12.81 to 10.81 in 2 months. And I told him I wanted to use them. So he introduced me to a couple, Darcel and Charles Robinson, and they got me started on the Eon, the carnosine patch, the X39 patch, and the glutathione patch. Those are the 4 patches that I used. And the very first day that I used them, I slept really good. The second day I used them, the pain was not as intense, but it was still there. And the third day that I used those patches, my pain was completely gone. I was shocked. I just couldn't believe it. So I had to see my oncologist. And so she told me that I had to have surgery and that I didn't have to take chemo and that the cancer was sitting on top of my uterus. So I had the surgery and they prepared me to have a lot of pain, but I didn't have any pain. I felt a lot of pressure and it was very uncomfortable, but I didn't experience any pain. And they were surprised themselves. But anyway, they had cut me. I had 5 sutures in my stomach because they did the surgery telescopically. And in 2 weeks, when I went back for a follow-up visit with my oncologist, you could hardly see the scars. They were just gone. You couldn't hardly see them. And my oncologist was so surprised. She kept pressing them to see if it hurt, but it didn't. You know. Um, so she told me that I had to start the radiation. Now, I had my surgery on January 10th of 2023, and I started radiation in April of 2023. And she said I had to have 25 rounds, but I really didn't want to take the radiation because I knew what it does, the harm that it does to the body. But, because I had friends and relatives that were telling me, just go ahead and take the radiation, at least we'll know the cancer is gone. So I did. I went 8 rounds and I quit. I was a I remember sitting on the edge of my bed and just praying because I was going for the 9th round. And I didn't want to do it because I didn't like the way it made me feel, first of all. And I knew that it was doing what it was doing to my body because those scars that I told you I had that you couldn't see, 8 rounds of radiation turned them dark. So you could see every single one of them. And I just didn't want to take any more radiation. So I just started praying. And I prayed and I prayed. And I remember hearing God's voice say, trust me. And it was so, it was just unbelievable for me. I get chills now because I remember looking up and saying, God, is that you? And I heard his voice say, trust me. And so I called the radiology department and told them I wasn't coming back. I wasn't taking any more radiation. I called my oncologist and told her, and I felt so much better, so much better. And this was in April. Um, in May of, no, I'm sorry, June 1st, I got a call from my oncologist telling me that I was cancer free. Cancer free. And you talking about somebody that was happy? I didn't take 25 rounds of radiation like they wanted me to. I only took 8, and I was cancer free, and I've been cancer free ever since. It'll be 3 years this coming June. It'll be 3 years that I'll be cancer free, and I was going to see to get a checkup every 3 months. And the last time that I went, they said I didn't have to come back for 6 months, but they were amazed at how I've healed. I've healed so much, so well. And, I'm just blessed and I'm just grateful. And I just got to tell my story. I have to tell it because there's so many people out there that are suffering. That, they have
Yeah.
cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes. So, yeah. So,
That is a beautiful story. I just feel compelled to say, I love you. You are just a beautiful soul. And that was so amazing. And I love that you said no to the radiation. Like you just knew, you trusted in, the power of God speaking to you through prayer.
yes.
And you just knew, your body knew. Your body was like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm good. So that is an extraordinary story, and thank you so much. You are such a gift to all of us. You really
Thank you so much for having me. Thank
Yes.
you.